Hello, this is going to be a part one of 3 parts where I'll show different ways on how to implement player health that can be displayed inside a game. For the first one, we will do a simple text which displays our health. So we do this by right-clicking and creating a canvas with a text component. Then we just position our text wherever we would want it to be. Now I'll place this in the middle and I'll type something like health 10 out of 10. And let's rename this to health text health. Now I'll create an empty game object where we will store our health display and create a brand new class by going into create C#, and I'll call it a text health display, like so. Now if we double click on it, and wait for Visual Studios to open or whichever compiler you will use. I'm just going to delete everything from the start. And what we will need to do is, for this, since we're using UI, we will be using Unity Engine.ui. We'll need to have a reference to our text component, and we'll call it the health text, like so. I'm going to put a range, and I'll put between 0 to 100, so I can have a little slider. Then we'll make a float, which is going to be our current health, and we'll make another float called max health. We're going to set max health to 100, and then current health we're just going to set to 0. Now, in order to update and display our health, we will create a public function called public void set health, or actually update health display, like so. And here we will simply put pass through 2 variables, which is going to be our max, well, our float current health. Just going to put a little underscore here, and I'll put float max health, like so. And what we would do then is dot text is equal to health. Well, actually, let's just assign our current health to be whatever health we have here. And I believe max health can actually stay as a constant value, because we will not be changing that. So something in the code somewhere else will be feeding through this number, and then we'll just do plus current health. We'll just put a little slash plus, and then max health, like so. Now, where are we? Now with this, every time we have a function that calls in our code, we actually don't even need this, to be honest. And we can just call this. Every time this gets called, we will update our health to this value for the display. The health itself could be held in another variable, but let's quickly just test this out. And we will instead remove this for the sake of the testing. Go back to a current health example. And what we will simply do is we'll just call this in update instead of calling it from another script, as this is just going to be for a show. And what we'll actually do is move this little range down here and add a serializable field as well, so we can manipulate it. And now if we quickly exit the script, go into our empty game object, we can call it something like health manager, health display manager, and we can add our text health. And now all we have to do is drag in our health across. And now As you can see, we can change this value. So let's press play. And what we'll see is that we get a 0, but if we go higher, we expand this. If we want the health to be only displayed as a single digit number, then we would just have to type into string and just put in a formatting that we would use. So if we just type in a 0 in black brackets like I did so, it will only show us the full numbers. And this is the first method. There's going to be a part 2 and part 3 video showing 2 alternative ways of doing it. So please tune in for that tomorrow. Thank you for watching.